today we are at Goy Gourmet here in the Ripe Market in Dubai, and we've been also doing a lot of initiatives here, and the Heartfulness initiative is also going to be present in its physical form. So actually we will be present in a physical form, not as medical centers, but as programs, spaces to promote the 7 dimensions of wellness as a form of healing and to offer enablement programs. I'm very proud to say that we are in partnership with 3 amazing global programs. Global Mental Health Peer Network, whom I'm a member of, and we are Lived Experience Mental Health. Is that we are the experts on madness. It's like we've lived it. And funny enough, so many of the mental health systems are coming out of intellectual ideas developed by doctors and like neuroscientists and stuff who have not experienced the human suffering and are telling us how to maintain our mental health. Lived experience is very important because we could be the guinea pigs, and we are the guinea pigs, and we are acting as guinea pigs for the improvement of the mental health systems. And now we are 80 people in 50, 60 countries that are developing and promoting mental health, but solutions, preventive solutions, rather than picking up the pieces of 54% of humanity, which is falling into depression and into burnout.
Yeah, Jess is here. People like our friends. Jess is with us. We're doing embodiment dance.
Shaking everybody.
So I'm gonna walk with it. اوكي هيدا هون. So طلعنا لفوق. اوكي. So هلا هيك هيدا الميل. Okay, so this is now open and نشيل الحديد. And I'm walking inside. Okay. Yeah, bravo حبيبي. شفت الولاد عم يلعبوا. So هيدي كلها صارت مفتوحة. Okay. So there you go.
Thank you so much, Roger, and of course also thank you, Tarek, for the great start, introduction, and Roger for all those wise words. And I'm so happy to be here with you. I would love to be there in person. I used to live in Dubai. I've lived in Abu Dhabi as well, but now I am back home in Sweden. But I do some work also still either virtually or then at your offices in Dubai or wherever you are. But today I want to address this topic as Roger was introducing. I'm going to take a look into how we are able to optimize performance for individuals in the corporate surrounding. What is really the individual responsibility? What is the possibility for the organization? What are the trends? What do we need to consider if we want to have healthy, high-performing people and corporate cultures?
I want to also talk about global change makers, and this is for bottom level staff who just walked into the corporate world. They have absolutely nothing in their hand except what they learned in university. Global change makers is social entrepreneurship, design thinking, and project management. If you want to put a newbie in the office into a crash course on how to develop and manage their own projects, this is the kind of project that you would give to youth and like new staff in the corporate world.
Wow. Thank you حبيبي. شفتوا وقت حدا does everything with love كيف بيطلع كل شيء حلو.
Connection. But if you're willing to share your dreams as well as your fears, that is usually all it takes to turn disconnection into connection and failure into success. Thank you. Connection.
can provide the conditions for my employees to flourish, to become a better version of themselves, then they become happier, they become more loyal, and eventually that's how our business benefits from.
And the quote says, the world of humanity has two wings. One is women and the other men. Not until both wings are equally developed can the bird fly. So when people work in an environment where they believe in the values and the mission, and that has become a culture for them, then they bring their all to work every day. How many of us can really say we get out of bed every morning saying, yes, today I'm going to work. Yes, another day at work. I can't wait to get there.
You mentioned the Wheel of Life is a very basic tool. We use it in coaching just to give the individual a look at their life and how they are happy in this area. It's like a pizza slice, and we talk about their job, their health, their relationship, and then we ask them where they are at the moment. How are they happy in this moment, in this particular area, where they want to reach. And with the help of their leadership and their management, we are able then to take them from point A to point B. And I can tell immediately from the first week if this organization is a healthy working environment or not. So most leaders, they engage their people, they have them on board with their vision.
When somebody is not responding to coaching or to programs quite quickly, it's because of their past and it's because of their childhood. And essentially what happens is, in childhood, up until the age of 7, you have a particular brainwave that just absorbs, and you just take patterns in. And a good girl is never going to speak up or speak over somebody in a meeting at work. They're never going to, ask for a pay rise. And these are things that, women in the workplace, just touching on what was discussed earlier, there's a particular way to express yourself, and you need to be able to understand that it's safe for you in that environment to be able to express yourself. And that's when you need to use some form of hypnosis to be able to overcome and understand where that pattern originated from. When you go back to the root cause and you disassociate, you understand the emotion, you understand the meaning, then you can really move forward in one session. And one of the benefits of doing rapid transformational therapy is that a session is 2 to 2.5 hours.
I think that the whole conversation that's going on globally with Gabor Mate, with it's just come to the surface. Although it's not a new word, it's just become a mass word. So I think it's about time we acknowledge that not only we are all dealing with our own traumas and childhood experiences, but that we are leading people with traumas. What can we do at the office level to ensure that people are first aware of how trauma affects them and integrating into their lives trauma release exercises to release them?
Is it trauma or is it wrong? And I think the key aspect of understanding where your trauma comes from is building resilience. So a lot of people talk about childhood traumas, right? The buzzword, keyword at the moment. But what a childhood trauma could be for you would be very different for me. So I could go and show my father a picture and he's like, not now. And then I would run away and I'd come back to him 20 more times to show him the same picture and be shooed away. Another child could do the same, and that would be a lifetime of rejection. What we do is we allow the mind to release, but we don't allow the body to catch up with that feeling. And a lot of emotional stress, trauma is actually trapped in the body. Develop a program where you allow someone to give the ability for someone just to release that from the body. They don't have to know where it comes from. They don't need to know about the pattern. They don't need to know if it's from childhood trauma. They just allow the body to heal. Your own body has this beautiful primal shaking mechanism within it that once you've activated it, it's your go-to. So you don't have to rely on pharmaceuticals, you don't have to rely on the outside. You go within, you shake it out for 20 minutes, you go into parasympathetic, and it's like a reset button every time that you do it, and it's your own body doing it.
Panel discussion is going exactly to the right place, because this is what we are actually proposing. Let's start making spaces and office spaces that have trauma release, you know, and dancing rooms and music and coaching sessions. And this is like what we actually are talking about. And it's amazing to have all these different ideas, because we want to customize solutions based on your experience and your knowledge and that collaborative, customized model.
So I'm a Kundalini Global teacher, and it is a relatively new form of Kundalini yoga. And I was drawn to it basically because of the removal of the guru. So for those of you maybe not aware of Kundalini Global, I'm trained by a trauma therapist based in London, Carolyn Cowan, who's the founder of Kundalini Global. And she was very courageous, and she decided to do Kundalini a little bit different, where there is no guru. We're basically invited to be ourselves, and as teachers we're trained to be inclusive when it comes to teaching yoga, posture, movement, and as Tulsi mentioned earlier about language. And that's what drew me in the most, because I love that feeling that we're much bigger than just the physical body, and that there's someone else out there, because that makes it so much more supportive to know that there's something else out there. But I realise that around the world it's so much different for everyone else, and that's what I love about this practice. It's very inclusive of all spirituality, cultures, everyone.
Like what Dr. Bassam is saying, these are laws of the universe. Laws of the universe validate them. The law of karma is called the law of consequence in science. So these are not things that are not inconsistent. And what each person chooses to believe is really up to them. What we say is what keeps you in balance is having a moral structure for yourself. What do you allow for yourself, and what do you allow from others? And what is it that you how do you conduct your day on a day-to-day basis? How you want to pursue your spiritual or non-spiritual path. What we would say is purpose is independent, right? And then the moral structure that you allow yourself to operate within is very necessary for your mental health and well-being overall, because you do good things, you reap good results. You do bad things, you reap bad results. This is laws that if people execute and integrate into their lives as professionals, it just changes the way they perceive the world, and through the actions that they take based on these new thoughts, they will manifest new realities. It's as simple as that. It's to attract abundance, it is to attract success by integrating practices for your personal life. This is not being approached as a spiritual recommendation, it is approached as a professional recommendation. Practical. Right? And this is how we are presenting this program. These are good behaviors and good thoughts and good actions that professionals can take in order to attract and create the reality that they want for their life.